once again, if you are signing up for the costume contest, now is the time to head on over and sign up.
Oh. Good, thank you.
Hi, so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Attention attendees, Jonas Sutano is now available to celebrate something today. Jonas Sutano, now is the time.
Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Doing that, man, you can blow up, dude. And there's a podcast I follow. They make so much money, dude.
Man, that would be awesome. Just like something for it. You should like try to get healers.
Bro, I saw your boyfriend here yesterday.
That's
You're
so
getting
cool,
it
dude.
for fun. Thank you very much. Everything is awesome. Now we take it to lots of people in this alley.
It's okay.
Being very wide, but I will do my best.
She's giving you 5. He wants 10. 10, Clara.
And thus ends another successful Steel City Con, and the last one for the decade, too, because the next one is not until April 17th. And I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed with some of the stuff I found in the regular, like, vendors hall, but Artist Alley really surprised me this year. I'll show you all the stuff I picked up there, and I'm going to show you all that stuff right now. And to start it off, I'll show you the one thing I did pick up in the vendor hall, and that was this Disney Skyliner Funko Pop figure, which they only have these exclusively at the Disney parks, but I didn't see them the last time I went down there, which was a month ago, so I unfortunately didn't get to ride this. I really wanted to, but we never got around to doing it, so you can see that there's a Mickey Funko Pop figure right there, and the thing looks exactly like the Skyliner. I don't want to open it up because it's still in the packaging, but I picked this one up for about, I think it was $50. I think I paid for this. Yeah, it was $50 for this. Although I did find out afterwards, this is actually online for $40 on the Shop Disney website. So, admittedly, I overpaid a little bit, but I didn't know. I just saw it there. It was one of the few things in there, the regular vendor hall, that I really wanted to get my hands on, and I did. So, there you go. That is the Disney Skyliner Pop figure. And as I showed in part 1, I got Tony Danza to sign my copy of Angels in the Outfield on DVD. So there's that right there. Like I said, I showed this in the first part. I showed this in part 1, and here's the certificate of authenticity in here. Okay, I guess when I say vendor stuff, I mean they were all vendors. I mean, like the specialty, like the special artists. You know what I'm talking about? Like special artist alley, like individual stuff, not like specific items. You know what I'm talking about. Well, starting with some of the stuff I picked up at Artist Alley, this came from Vulgar Dragon's Den, and I'll go ahead and put a Facebook link to the Facebook page. Excuse me. I cannot speak right now. I will put a link to the Facebook page for this. And also, he has an Instagram page, which you saw in the last video. He had a sign up for that. And I picked up this metal sign, which is, of course, this is Michael Keaton from Batman. And tells you everything about Michael Keaton. Like, he was one of 7 siblings. He played at Kent State. Appeared on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was a night shift. Said to understood the dark, brooding nature of the title character. And of course, for those of you who don't know, Michael Keaton was born in Pittsburgh, so there's that one. And then I also picked up this one for The Dark Knight Rises. Because, of course, The Dark Knight Rises was filmed in Pittsburgh, and I was actually an extra on the set of The Dark Knight Rises, and I'll show you a picture of that in a little bit, of the one picture I got the day that I cannot speak right now, sorry. I will show you the one pic from the day that I was there as an extra on set, but this is from The Dark Knight Rises. And there you can see some notes there. The only city with the immense size and scope needed for Gotham. Some of the Steelers played themselves in the film, which they did. The mayor even played one of the Steelers too. I think he was the coach, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or one of the football players. I can't remember, though. I have to watch that movie again. The Pittsburgh football stadium was carefully used for some scenes. It had to be resurfaced after all the stud explosions, which I do remember that. They gave us earplugs for that one. Team colors happen to be the same as the Gotham Rogues, and real fans can be seen waving rally towels during the film, which they did, and I still have that too. These two they had a special going on. I believe it was 2 for $40 on these. I think there were 25 regularly. So that, once again, came from Vulgar Dragon's Den. Once again, I will put a link to the Facebook page on that one in the comments below. Next up, this one comes from a Mom's Hobby, which is like a little independent company where they met a little independent person who makes like a like custom items made out of like cloth and all that. They buy a lot of stuff in their Hobby Lobby, and I found these here, and I thought these were kind of cool, and these were really cheap too. Like these are make your own Forky from Toy Story 4, as you can see right there. As you can see, they've got like the stuff in there, the Make Him, the spork, the popsicle sticks, the eyes. And I don't see the rainbow in here. Maybe it's in here somewhere, but you got like the clay parts here to make the body itself. And they were $3 each, but you could get 2 of these for $5. And I figure I'll keep one, maybe give the other one as a gift. So, oh, and the string is there too. Which is the string in this one too? There it is. So there are those. Once again, that came from a mom's hobby. I'll go ahead and put a link to their address right there, or you can just look at the card there. There's the details on everything you need to know about them. Next up came from Heroinberg. If you don't know what Heroinberg is, this is basically a Pittsburgh YouTube superhero series. They've been into these shows before. I've never gotten around to actually seeing like the shows themselves, but I'll go ahead and put a link to their website, to their YouTube channel on here, because they have a show on YouTube, and they have these comics on sale for $5. So I figured, you know what, why not? Why not go ahead and read this? I do like a good comic book, but yeah, I do like a good comic book every once in a while. Once again, I cannot talk. Toy boat. But this was $5, and some of the superheroes actually signed it for me as I was walking by there. So there's those, and you also got some stickers. Here are all the characters from the show. You have some of the main superheroes. There's also some anti ones here. So there you go. Some of those right there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a chance to read this one. I actually was kind of interested into it. I just never got around to checking it out, but yeah, I definitely will be reading up on this one. Next up, these came from a vendor, like second to I believe it was the it was the third row, and he had like DVDs, bootleg DVDs and Blu-rays of various things. Like you could get like. This is where I bought, like, the Star Wars, despecialized special editions on Blu-ray, like the original unaltered versions from George Lucas before in the 1990s. Got those there. I got Dexter's Laboratory, the complete series there, Ed, Edd n Eddy, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, Tex Avery, a bunch of those ones here. And one of the ones I picked up was The Boys from Amazon Prime. I have not seen the show. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I heard it's really messed up, but it's also really funny, too. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking these out. These actually do work. I do check them. I do test these on my portable Blu-ray player, and they do work. But then, so I picked this one up. Excuse me. And then, this one. I saw it there. I figured to myself, I have never seen this in full before. It was $15, and I figured, you know what? Last Day was the only copy I saw there. I think this year I'm finally going to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. I've heard so many bad things about this one, but so many of those so bad it's good kind of things. But you also get the Star Wars Holiday Special riff tracks on this one, as well as the original commercials from when this first aired in 1978. So I'm looking forward to reliving possible horrors on this one. I actually heard that Jon Favreau, the guy who does the Mandalorian, he actually wants to make a new version of this, and part of me does kind of want to see what they do with it, but yeah, definitely going to watch this one at some point this holiday season. 12 years too late compared to everyone else who's already seen it, but there you go. That was $15, by the way, so. And lastly, I got 2 pairs of pillows here. This first one came from Juju Be Stitchin', Julia Studeny. I might be pronouncing that name wrong, but Julia Studeny. There's all the information there, and I'll put a link to that. And once again, I'll put a link to the pages there on the comments section. But check this out: a Bob's Burger Christmas pillow. I saw this there. It was $10. I figured, you know what? This looks really cool. I definitely want to get my hands on this. I saw that it was really cool looking, and there's the back. And like I said, $10 for this. Really well done. This this really feels good, soft on my head. Because I used this a little bit beforehand, and it feels really good. So There's that one, and then I'll show you the other one here, which comes from a different person. And this one comes from Dawn's Mystical Menagerie. Dawn Heaps, the owner of this. And there's her Gmail account, the Gmail address, and I'll put a link to that in the comments below as well. But this was also $10, and of course, you know I love my Steelers. They won today against Arizona, which, by the way, if you're wondering why there was no Stairway to 7 video, I completely forgot that I had the Steel City Con this past week, so no Stairway to 7 video, unfortunately, but I will have one next week, so don't worry about that. But here is the Steeler pillow I bought for the holidays. This was $10 as well. Really like the design on this. Really like this too, the back of this. So yeah, for $10, I thought that was worth it. And that is pretty much everything I picked up at this year's Steel City Con. Like I said, most of the stuff came from the Artist Alley. I want to try to get more stuff from there because you see over there, there's some stuff that I bought a couple shows ago from Nathan J. Jeffries, which I saw them again, and I didn't see anything I wanted this time around, but I always like to make a point to go over there and see what kind of stuff they had. They did have some, like, cool photos, like, they did Baby Yoda, they did some more Pokemon, and I saw them. Didn't see anything I really needed to get this time around, but I will definitely be back over there the next show to see what they got, because they always have some really cool photo designs there, and I really am looking forward to seeing that again. But other than that, another successful Steel City Con is in the books.